What's up, everybody? I'm David Hain. Welcome to episode 65 of the A to D From Addict to Disciple podcast. I want to give a big shout out to our new listeners from Buenos Aires, Argentina. That brings our total reach up to 48 countries. I'm so appreciative of that, guys. If you would like one-on-one counseling, or to launch or join a group using the podcasts or the From Ashes to Destiny curriculum, please send me a message by email at davidfromatod@gmail.com or go to my website www.fromatod.org and click on the contact page. When we come back, we'll get into this episode entitled PTSD, Addiction, and Recovery. Welcome back to episode number 65, entitled PTSD, Addiction, and Recovery. In today's episode, I will not be looking at addiction that comes as a result of a traumatic event in our life. Instead, I'm going to look at some of the classical definitions and symptoms of PTSD and put on a new twist by redefining PTSD for this episode as post-treatment stress disorder and also post-time stress disorder. By this I mean, how can our feelings after we get out of addiction treatment facilities or after we've served our time and are released from incarceration be similar to classical PTSD that people experience after the trauma in their life? Hopefully, this will bring a new perspective and insight to many of my listeners, which will strengthen you in recovery. Let's start by looking at some of the typical symptoms of PTSD. The Mayo Clinic lists these as behavioral symptoms, including stuff like agitation, irritability, hostility, hypervigilance, self-destructive behavior, or social isolation. Another category is psychological symptoms, including things like flashback, fear, severe anxiety, or mistrust. Then there's the category of mood changes, including loss of interest or pleasure in activities, guilt or loneliness. And let's not forget sleep disorders like insomnia or nightmares. People may also experience emotional detachment from friends and family and unwanted thoughts. So let me ask a few questions for you to consider as you are working to establish long-term recovery after rehab, after outpatient treatment, or after release from prison. Number 1, are you feeling anxious? Are you having sudden flashbacks during the day or waking at night with drug dreams or feeling like you're back in jail? Do you find yourself feeling afraid or guilty? Are you experiencing panic attacks or chills or headaches? All of these are classic PTSD symptoms and should not be ignored. These should be red flags for you to get connected, stay connected, talk to a counselor or peer coach. This is critical because ongoing anxiety can create lapses in judgment. And as we know too well, when we have lapses in judgment, it fuels to relapse. As you share your feelings with your coach or sponsor, try to uncover what is fueling your anxiety. For example, what if the anxiety is fueled by hopelessness and you do nothing about it? How dark is that place? Number 2, next question for you. Are you finding it hard to focus or get a good night's sleep? Perhaps all you want is to put it out of your mind, but you can't seem to get the thoughts or the voices out of your head. You can be doing well for a few days or weeks, but then you see something on TV, hear a song, or smell an aroma, familiar smell, and they trigger the uncontrollable thoughts all over again. So are you finding it hard to focus? Number 3, are you more easily angered or less tolerant than you were before? It's important, if you're experiencing that, to talk to someone to understand how to find peace in your present situation. Maybe the key for you is to rekindle the interest in things that you enjoyed previously. Question number 4. Are you riddled with feelings of deep shame or guilt? Many people can begin to forgive themselves as they actively listen to the way others in group meetings have learned to forgive themselves. We can learn by observation, really, how to stop dwelling in the past and move forward in recovery. So it's so important to stay plugged into safe group meetings. Question number 5. Do you feel like you don't even know who you are when you look in the mirror? It's common to have feelings like, now what? What's next? I'm clean and sober, but where did everybody go? Who are these people that are around me now? As a matter of fact, where am I? Or what am I doing here? Well, if you're going through any of those questions, we all need help of people who understand us and believe in us as we do the hard work of establishing a new identity that we're not even sure what it's supposed to look like. It's normal to feel that you had an identity as an addict, but now you're not sure who you really are, and sometimes feel like nothing, and feel like no one cares about your clean time when you begin to count the days and get the coins to celebrate each month that you're clean and sober. So these are good questions to think about as we try to see where we're really at in this post-treatment stress disorder or post-time stress disorder. Mark Goulston, a doctor who wrote the book Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder for Dummies, phrased some of the questions and changes this way, and I quote, he said, unlike simple stress, trauma changes your view of your life and yourself. It shatters your most basic assumptions about yourself and your world. Assumptions like life is good, or I'm safe, or people are kind, or I can trust others, or maybe the future is likely to be good. And these positive assumptions about yourself and your world are replaced with feelings like the world is a dangerous place, or I can't win, or I can't trust other people or myself, or there's just no hope. Sure. That's some major changes in the way you view your life and yourself. So you can see how important it is to share these feelings in a group or in one-on-one counseling. And I urge you to rest in the safety, the trust, the friendship, and the hope that you find in these groups or one-on-one sessions. Remember that PTSD does not mean that you are refusing to let go of the past, but that your past is refusing to let go of you. That's a huge reason why we need the support of others to get beyond our past. We need to find ways to open the gates to normalcy again. We need to seek to build upon the new things that we've already established in our life and the new people that are taking places of importance in our life. And we need to grow in how we learn from these people that we've now understood we can rely on. It's important to begin to walk in authority over your memories. Let me say that again. It's important to begin to walk in authority over your memories. Easier said than done. But again, what a great discussion topic with your coach or mentor. How do I take authority over my memories? How do I leave the past behind? How do I focus on the present and build my new future? These are all so important as we seek to recover from our PTSD in recovery. Thanks for listening to this episode of the A to D from Addict to Disciple podcast. If you enjoy these podcasts, please share the link with your friends. If you'd like to support our work with people caught in the snare of addiction, homelessness, or incarceration around the world, please click on the support link in this episode's description. Your donation of any amount could change a life. Tune in Monday for our next episode, and as always, stay safe and stay strong.